Hello, everyone. I'm Christina, and I'm wishing you a good Sunday morning. I know it's bright and early today, but I feel like today, just the information that I was getting was probably best to go ahead and get this out here. So, I want to start out by asking everyone that comes on to hit like, subscribe, share the videos, and as always, definitely comment. And before I go on, I also want to thank everyone who has been sending prayers and donations to the channel. It's really helping out a lot. You might not have an idea about how much it's helping, but we'll discuss that too towards the end of the video. I want to say hello to everyone that's here already and everyone that is coming in time. So, you want to listen to these shortages. It's going to be more than just food, right? So, let's go ahead and get started because we kind of started going over this last night. It was really more of a blip in the video that I was doing yesterday, but it really caught my attention. And as I got up this morning and started really delving into it, the list went on and on and on. So, this is what I've gotten. First of all, parts are hard to find due to lockdowns, and it looks like this is a wide range of parts, starting with bike parts, because a lot of these bike parts come from Asia. And in cases where parts might come from other countries, you're going to find this extremely difficult, which kind of brings back to mind why Trump really wanted to start having more companies in America, because I think he could foresee that if anything started to happen like this, that it would be harder to find a lot of parts, things that we need. And we're starting to really not just see it, but really start to hurt. And it's not just because of the shipments not coming in. A lot of it's due to the lockdown. So that the companies that we do have in America that can process these things, they're shut down. And some of these companies will never come back, right? So we started with the bike parts coming from Asia. Hard, hard to find those. But on top of that, the car manufacturers are having trouble finding chips, which we kind of glossed over last night. But it also includes anything related to video games, whether on a PC or a new console, PlayStation, Xbox, Series X. You're going to have problems trying to find parts in games related to that. That might even extend into the controllers, things that were popular even before the pandemic. Excuse me, video game oriented PCs, computer games, and then it extends into smartphones, smart speakers, and smart TVs. And that also brings to mind the GameStop stock that notice how they were trying to downsell that about a month or so ago before people came into the market and started building that stock up. So they saw that GameStop would have issues. And when you really look at the shortages and how they relate to electronics, then you see what they were seeing was coming ahead of time. Excuse me. I hate that I'm coughing in front of y'all. I'm so sorry. Hello, AA. It's good to see you. Off Grid. Good morning. And Sooners for Christ, Oklahoma. Good morning. What do I think about crypto? I don't have an opinion or enough information on that personally to really talk about that just yet. But once I find out a little bit more, I will comment. I just don't want to say things that I'm not really sure about. Crypto isn't something that I really invest in. I'm still stuck on the old-fashioned dollar bills. Okay, beyond the electronics, you're going to see shortages that might surprise you and even kind of worry you a little bit. and that includes pharmaceutical drug shortages. So the medicines, the medications that you take may not be available, harder to find, harder to get in to your pharmacies to get from them. So your doctor might have to explore alternatives. Maybe looking at some home remedies might help just to have some kind of backup. They talk about that wild lettuce for like a morphine gel for when you're in pain, just something to look up. But they're also having trouble with surgical gowns and glove supplies, respirators, masks. They have a blood shortage. I mean, who wants to go to the hospital? Right? But they are there. That's a serious thing because a lot of people that I was mentioning, I'm seeing car crash after car crash, murders, assaults going on. They just seem to be skyrocketing the last couple of weeks. So people are going to need this blood, but there's a shortage of it. And another critical one is oxygen. In these hospitals, they are having a shortage of oxygen. A lot of these things come in containers. So I don't know exactly which part, that they are having trouble getting. But a lot of this just kind of speaks to the fact that we're going to have to stop throwing away so much, refurbishing certain things, and becoming more resourceful. But drug factories were shut down. Lab testing equipment, such as pipette tips used in molecular testing, those are short. And even doctor shortages in the western states like Nevada and California. They're also talking about nurse shortages. Home construction industry is suffering a lumber deficiency that includes pallets, critical parts used to build basements, cabinet shortages, appliances, copper, air conditioners. They're always getting copper out of these houses. When they're vandalized, they get the copper out. Well, there's a copper shortage now. But for all of you southern states that deal with the blistering heat, it might bother you that air conditioners are on short supply. For everyone else, the heating units are also in short supply, along with insulation that helps with hot and cold temperatures. And it's a lesser issue, but still a shortage anyway in the construction industry is color limitations on shingles. I by no means pretend that I've got every single thing that is being shorted right now. This is just a list of what I got so far. And there's more. Hold on. I'm just letting you know that even though this list is long, I'm probably missing a few things. Hello, Sheila and C. Lynn. Everybody, I'm always so glad to see everyone. Thank you for the thumbs up. And let's get back to the shortages. Of course, a lot of people are already aware that we are having seed shortages. I wouldn't trust companies necessarily to be able to build these seed vaults back up, the supply, because we keep getting our crops, they're being devastated by weather issues, magnetosphere issues, climate extremes. So being able to replenish the seed is by logic going to be getting harder. So when you get your bell peppers and your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your watermelons, save those seeds. Label what you put them in. Put down what month and year you got those seeds because they do expire. But if you don't, it might cost you. If you like jalapenos, go get you some jalapenos, save the seeds. It's going to help out a lot. Trust me. Might be something good to trade with later down the road. Also, there's a teacher shortage in California. Fuel shortage concerns in Tucson, Arizona. Food shortages, besides the one that you're already seeing on your shelves. There were 3 odd ones that I saw. Well, not 2 of them are odd. One of them I've been seeing for a while. Yeast is the one I've been seeing short for a while. If you see it on the shelves, grab it. But there's also videos on how you can make your own yeast. Check it out. I think it has something to do with flour, a jar, and some sugar, but there are YouTube videos on that. And that could help you a lot because the yeast is supposed to be in the flour too. Just FYI, there are other means and ways to do things because necessity is the mother of all invention. And I've mentioned before, the skills and the knowledge you have is what's going to really help you through. But the other two interesting ones is caviar and truffle shortages. And I've seen truffles missing off the shelves for almost 2 years now. One that might surprise you that is happening is a clothing shortage is starting. So if you wanted to buy a new shirt, new pair of pants, socks, you might want to learn how to knit. You might want to, if you need a blanket, take those old torn clothes, start making patchwork quilts. Don't be throwing things away for a while. You're going to have to learn to repurpose, reassign, renew what you have. When you see things just being thrown away that are still perfectly good and you can use it, because that's what we do around here. We don't necessarily throw it away. We might put it by the dumpster. It's clean, it's perfect, it's useful. Somebody will walk along and say, "Oh, I need that chair." Grab it, bring it to the yard. Put it at the patio table, but we're going to have to stop wasting. We can't assume that we can just go to the store and buy whatever we want anymore. The shortages even go into pet stores. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that cats and dogs in pet stores are having shortages too. So I guess you're going to have to start looking for them stray cats with babies. Maybe sell some of them kittens, some puppies, make you a little money. Now, since everybody has been in quarantine for a year now, entertainment items also started being bought up, such as, the computers, the game systems. But you might be surprised that jigsaw puzzles are now being reported to be in short supply. Let's go ahead and check the comments section. Want to also welcome all of you again. Thank you always for the thumbs up. Jan Murray potatoes mix yeast. That's very good information. And good. I'm glad y'all are having sunshine. I think we're at about 50 where I'm at in the North Houston area, going into the woods where I'm at, the backwoods. We're about 50. So, but it's a beautiful sunshiny day. Yes, puzzles too. I was surprised. I was surprised to see that. Anything that has to do with entertainment, you're going to see a problem getting that. So also be looking at your garage sales. A lot of these people, because my channel gets shadow banned, a lot of people don't get notifications, so they might not know when they're having their garage sale that jigsaw puzzles are in short supply. Hit them garage sales up. I know a girl that's making her own lettuce. It's like a home garden. Sounds like a good idea now. This is a really good time to be gardening. Really good idea to have an herb garden, to be looking for that wild lettuce and learning how to identify the edible food that is in your wild forests all around you, your woods, things that you might be able to just eat. Even heavy metals might be something you can barter with. Actually, yes, Sheila, now that you mention it. There's mineral shortages of beryllium, indium, thallium, gallium, vanadium, and tellurium. Now, the last two are byproducts, I believe, byproduct minerals kind of thing. But all of these are not just short, they are used in building components of things that we buy and use every day. So watch out for your heavy metals, your metals, period. Anything is, if when it comes to crypto or any currency, the one thing that I do know is that the economic system is not sound. So things that you might be able to barter with is a really good idea. Exactly. Hello, Five Flames. I'm glad you could make it this morning. It's always so good to see you too. And that is on the list. Ammunition, big time shortage. So we're going to have to learn to make bows and arrows and slingshots. So Look for them chickens. Arrows need them feathers. Heavy metals like the band Kiss. Oh, you're so silly. All right. Going back, freezers are in short supply. Now, this next one surprised me. $100 bills shortage. Now that we're coming up in summer, also, swimming pools are in there's a shortage of them. Swimming pools. So if you think you're gonna help your ducks out in your yard or your little kids or your whole family, no, you cannot buy an above ground swimming pool. If you can, you might have to wait, or you might just get lucky. But if you're gonna get a swimming pool, right now, if you can find one, even if it's early, this might be a good time. Propane shortages are becoming more and more prevalent. And I do have a Mr. Buddy heater. There are several different kinds, but mine in particular has these canisters that it works off of propane. And a lot of people will use these canisters and throw them away. Well, if we're having all of these supply shortages, who's to say that the canisters also, not just the propane, won't run out? There is a fitting that's about $15, $16 that you can find still that will help you transfer propane from a bigger propane bottle into these canisters to keep it working instead of having to buy the canisters over and over again, especially with all the prices going up and the supply of material decreasing. Plastics in general. Can you believe, with all the plastic lying around everywhere, there's a plastics shortage. They make everything out of plastic. And I was just talking on a video not long ago about someone who was finding all this plastic, different people actually, and putting it into this metal distiller thing that cooks this plastic and then converts it into diesel fuel. It's lying everywhere, but we still somehow have a plastic shortage. There are some people in other countries that started dealing with their plastics issue by making sandals, like flip-flops out of them, and roof tiles. So again, repurposing skills is going to really come in handy, and getting into repurposing plastic could also really help the environment. In Houston, right here in my own backyard, they're actually reporting a shortage of garbage bins, like trash cans. That's what they call them, garbage bins, but they're different sizes. But they're having a shortage. Another one that surprised me was a shortage of mattresses, and it's a general home furnishings issue with supply. Let's go ahead and check the comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hello, False Prophet Hunter. Online propane prices are ridiculous. Yep, propane shortages too. I've been reusing milk jugs to store water. That's wonderful. I do that with Coca-Cola 2, or, Sprite 2 liters, just 2-liter bottles in general. Gas prices in Anchorage, Alaska, $13 a gallon. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay, let's get back to it, because I think we're getting close to the end of this list so far. Again, I don't think I got all the shortages, but what they are saying is that 70 districts are closed Monday in Pueblo, Colorado, because of staff shortages, teachers. And I'm not sure if it has something to do with they haven't all gotten their COOF shot, or they don't have masks. But there's a staff shortage going on in Colorado. So 70 districts, 70. These kids cannot go back to school. They probably can't even afford to pay for the gas in these buses pretty soon to come pick your kid up anyway. Containers of shipments of supplies from other countries may still be sitting at port because there are no workers to move them. Which goes back to the point, if we don't go back to work, if we don't open up our businesses and get these people and these back to work and these companies producing again, we're dead in the water anyway. There's a certain point where financially, if we don't stop this, we can't come back. It's not going to be just one company here, one company there, shortages here. The whole thing is going to break down if we don't get back to work now, yesterday even. So, if to even think about the fact that we may have actually had some of these supplies in our ports, but because nobody can move these carts, these crates, we can't get them anyway. Gas prices, who can truck them our way? We don't have teleporters. But I'm sure all of this can be fixed with our stimulus checks because they can buy things that don't even exist anymore too, right? It can just, like a magic wand, just fix everything. We're supposed to be getting stimulus checks, some people. I'm not sure when, but all of this was in fact supposed to have been finalized last night, unless there is something that I have missed. In the meantime, I just also wanted to thank you again, everyone, for your donations that you send, because I am getting this food truck ready piece by piece. And today we've got, because I already gotten the material, it was just getting someone that had time and the skill to make the shelf for the outside of it and replace a board around a pump. He's cut that, and we're going to install it after varnish it all. So it's coming along. It's really coming along, and I couldn't do a lot of this without your help, because it's going to help not just feed people, but it's going to be a ministry also. And in a time where things are getting even harder, I think that we're going to need as many of God's troops out there preaching the gospel as possible. And when it comes to minimum wage, I know that it's something that sounds good on the surface. Grant, I'm really glad you brought that up. The problem is that with the economy suffering the way that it is, the businesses that are shut down, there's no way for people to feasibly pay their workers, everyone, and considering every state has its own economic situation going on, it would be detrimental to our economy if they just lay that 15 minimum wage on everyone, even unskilled workers. It's not going to help. It's going to just set this economic crumble into flames. Oh, yes. Yes, I am starting a food truck. In fact, I'm gonna do a live stream soon, or at least a video that I upload, giving you a tour, show you what's going on with the truck, especially after the shelf gets put on and everything. I do plan on doing that so y'all can see it. It's really pretty. It's got stainless steel counters, and we got a little warming oven in there. I'm getting ready to replace the linoleum. I've already bought the linoleum. So it's really coming along. I can't wait to show you guys. It's gonna be really awesome. I'm just thrilled. It's also gonna have a jar where people can leave a little extra cash, change, even if it's just their change, so that if somebody comes along that can't quite afford their meal or can't afford it at all, that they're not gonna walk away hungry. They're still gonna get a kolache and a coffee too, just like everybody else. So we're really excited about that. God has already sent the bakers this way. Thank you. God bless you, Paula Hoskins. God bless you. God bless all of you that's really been helping. It's just been completely inspiring. It's something that gets me up every day knowing that we're we're gonna be doing so many good things with this food trailer, and that I've got all of you behind me. Grant Harper, message for me. Okay. $20 for 100 extra strength Tylenols. Our taxes will go up even more. I don't doubt that, because that's all they know how to do sometimes, is just raise the taxes. And our light bills, thousands of dollars. All right. Let me just check to make sure. Yeah, that's everything for this morning. I'm really glad that all of you came by. I'm so happy that all of you stopped by. And I will talk to you super soon. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.